Okay, in this video, we're gonna just have a very special introduction to a theorem that's very common and very popular and very useful, and it relates to right triangles, which looks like this. It can look like this at least. There's a right angle, which is 90 degrees, of course, and yeah. So in this case, yeah, so that's a right triangle. In this case, let's just call it A, B, and C. So there's a very special relationship between this, this, and this. And the fact is a 90-degree angle, like a right triangle. And this is the hypotenuse, as you remember. Yeah. So there's a very special relationship, which is called, of course, the Pythagorean Theorem, which says, in essence, not in essence, it does, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So let me just do an example for you. That'll probably make much more sense, but in essence, these are the two legs of the right triangle, and this is the hypotenuse. So you add the two legs, like you add the squares to the two legs. Remember, this is not. Remember, this is not really the same thing as this, because again, you're missing a middle, lots of middle parts. So yeah, let's say yeah, so suppose you have a right triangle. Suppose that this is I told you, well, that's a right angle. This is 9, this is some A, this is some 14. You have to know two of the sides to use the Pythagorean theorem, unless you use some trigonometry rules, but that's the simplest way, so you know the two sides. So remember, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. The important thing to note about that is these variables can change. The important thing this is saying is that, again, think of it like logically words. The squares of the two legs, so this and this, you take the squares of each one individually, add them up, and that is equal to the hypotenuse squared. So the numbers can, like the letters can change. Those are just, arbitrary. So I could theoretically write this. But this, again, is just, you want to make sure these are the two, if you have like this would mean B and C are like the two legs, and A is hypotenuse. So yeah, remember, name it. Like it's very important to have conventional. Okay, let's do this. 3, 4. What is this? Well, let's find out. 3 squared, 4 squared. It's gonna equal x squared. 3 squared is what? 9 squared plus. 9 plus 16, which is 25, I believe. Square root 25, because you have to the square root to get to x is 5. And this is actually a really special triangle. It's called actually a 3, 4, 5 triangle. And that this is a very common. It's called the Pythagorean triple. So it's very common. And these two are the legs and this hypotenuse, and it's used in many places. So yeah, that's a very basic introduction to the Pythagorean theorem, which ultimately is this equation. The sum of the squares of the two legs is equal to the hypotenuse.